Another ordinary shift. Or so he thought. Jason Carter had worked the late-night shift at Benny's Burgers for over a year. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't fun. But it paid the bills. Barely. Most nights were uneventful. Drunk customers, impatient drivers, and the occasional late-night fight in the parking lot. But one night, everything changed. The man in the black sedan. It started as just another Thursday night. Jason was working the drive-through window, taking orders like usual. "Welcome to Benny's Burgers. What can I get for you tonight?" Then he saw it. A black luxury sedan pulled up, one he had seen many times before. Behind the wheel, Mayor Richard Dunham, a man known for his big speeches, flashy suits, and promises of cleaning up the city. Jason didn't think much of it, until he noticed something strange. The mayor wasn't ordering food. Instead, a man in the passenger seat handed him a small envelope. The mayor glanced around, then discreetly slipped it into his jacket. And just like that, he drove off. Jason froze. That wasn't normal. Something wasn't right. A pattern begins to form. Over the next few weeks, Jason started paying attention, and he noticed a pattern. Same black sedan. Same time, around midnight. Different men, different envelopes. It was always quick, subtle, and secretive. But Jason knew exactly what he was looking at. Bribes, and the worst part, nobody else seemed to care. Trying to sound the alarm. Jason told his manager, "Are you serious? That's the mayor. What, you think he's laundering money through a burger joint?" Jason told his co-workers, "Dude, you watch way too many crime shows. Probably just some rich guy stuff." He even tried reporting it to local authorities. And what did he get? Laughed at. "You got proof, kid?" Or just some wild theory. Jason was frustrated. Nobody believed him, but he wasn't about to let it go. Not now. Not after what he saw next. The final straw. One night it got worse. The mayor wasn't alone this time. He had someone in the back seat. And this man? Jason recognized him instantly. Councilman Greg Lawson, a politician who'd recently been pushing for new city contracts. The kind that mysteriously ended up in the hands of the mayor's closest friends. Jason watched as Lawson handed over an even thicker envelope. And this time, the mayor actually smiled. That was it. Jason wasn't just going to talk about it anymore. He was going to prove it. And when he was done, the whole city would know the truth. Setting the trap. Jason knew he had one chance. If he wanted people to take him seriously, he needed more than just his word. He needed undeniable proof. So he got to work. He bought a small hidden camera. He positioned it perfectly at the drive-through window. And every single night, he hit record. For weeks, he captured everything. The same car, the same shady deals, the same corrupt politicians. And just when Jason thought he had seen it all, something even bigger happened. Something that changed everything. The envelope that broke the case. It was a Friday night. Jason was watching closely as the mayor pulled up again. This time, the passenger wasn't just a businessman. It was a police captain. Jason's heart stopped. The mayor was bribing law enforcement. And when Jason zoomed in on the footage later that night, he saw something that made his blood run cold. A stack of bills, and on the top, a sticky note, with just one word, handled. Jason knew exactly what that meant. This wasn't just bribery. This was a cover-up. And now, Jason had everything he needed. But the real question was, how do you take down a corrupt mayor? when the system is rigged against you. Jason had a plan that would make history. The weight of the truth. Jason Carter sat in his tiny apartment, staring at the footage on his laptop. For weeks, he had risked everything to capture undeniable proof of Mayor Dunham's corruption. Bribes caught on camera. Secret deals at the drive-thru. Even a police captain involved in the scandal. It was all there. But now what? Who could he trust? The police? No way. The footage showed some of them were on the mayor's payroll. The local news? Maybe. But what if they were pressured to bury the story? Jason needed a plan. Something big. Something that would force the entire city to see the truth. And then it hit him. City Hall. The plan, a public takedown. Jason pulled out his phone and checked the calendar. City Council meeting. 2 days away, that was his shot. Every meeting was broadcast live on public access TV. The mayor would be there. The press would be there. And when Jason walked in and played the footage for everyone to see, it would be game over. But first, he needed a backup plan. Because if the mayor realized what was happening before Jason got to the microphone, there was a very real chance he wouldn't make it out of that room. Backup plan. The dead man's switch. Jason knew how these things worked. Powerful men didn't just sit back and let themselves get exposed. If he was going to take down a corrupt mayor, he had to assume the worst. So he created a fail-safe. He uploaded the footage to the cloud. He scheduled an automatic email to send the footage to multiple news stations, just in case something happened to him. He told a trusted friend to publish everything if he didn't check him by midnight after the meeting. Now he was ready. The night before, a warning comes. Jason was locking up at work when he felt it. That eerie sensation of being watched. He turned. A black sedan was parked across the street. Jason's stomach tightened. The mayor's car. They knew. The driver's side window rolled down. A man in sunglasses stared at him. Then in a low, calm voice, "You don't want to do this, kid." Jason didn't respond. His hands clenched into fists. The man smirked. "You think anyone's going to believe a fast food worker over the mayor?" Jason's heart pounded. The man leaned in slightly. People who go against powerful men in this city tend to disappear. Then the car drove off. Jason stood frozen in place. His pulse was racing. They weren't just watching. They were threatening him. But they had no idea. He was already too deep to stop. Showtime, the city council meeting. Jason walked into City Hall the next evening, his backpack slung over his shoulder. Inside, the mayor sat in his usual spot, smiling and shaking hands. The press was there, cameras rolling. The public gallery was packed. Jason took a deep breath. This was it. He signed up for public comment. His name was called. He walked up to the microphone. The mayor barely looked at him. Jason took a breath, leaned into the mic, and spoke. "My name is Jason Carter, and I have something the people of this city need to see." The mayor's smile faltered. Jason reached into his backpack, pulled out a USB drive, plugged it into the council's projector, and hit play, the moment that changed everything. The room fell dead silent. Then the footage rolled. The mayor taking envelopes full of cash. The secret deals at the drive-thru. The police captain involved in the bribery. The mayor's face went pale. The reporters, they scrambled to capture every second. Whispers turned into gasps. Then, chaos. "Turn that off!" The mayor's voice boomed across the chamber. Security rushed forward. Jason stepped back. Then, bang! The doors swung open. FBI agents stormed in. The room erupts in chaos. The moment the FBI stormed in, the entire room descended into madness. Reporters jumped to their feet, shoving cameras forward. City council members exchanged frantic whispers. Security hesitated, unsure whether to follow the mayor's orders or obey federal agents. And at the center of it all, Mayor Richard Dunham. His face had gone ghost white. He looked between the FBI agents and Jason, sweat forming on his brow. You don't understand," the mayor stammered, raising his hands. "This is all a misunderstanding." Jason didn't say a word. He didn't have to, because the evidence spoke for itself. And now, it was over. The mayor's desperate plea. Agent Miller, the lead FBI investigator, stepped forward. "Richard Dunham," he said, his voice steady, "you're under arrest for bribery, corruption, and conspiracy to commit fraud." The mayor laughed nervously. "Come on, Miller," he said, his voice shaking. "You know me. This is politics. That video? It's been edited. Fake news." Jason narrowed his eyes. "Fake news?" He finally spoke. "So, you weren't the one taking envelopes full of cash. You weren't meeting with corrupt city officials at a drive-thru." The mayor glared at him. "You little—" "Save it," Miller cut in. "We've been investigating you for months. This video just confirms what we already knew." The mayor froze. For the first time, he realized. This wasn't just about Jason's video. They had more. And now, there was no escape. The arrest. "Turn around," Miller ordered. The mayor shook his head furiously. "You can't do this," he shouted, stepping back. "I run this city." Jason watched silently. Security finally snapped out of their trance and backed away. There would be no rescue. The mayor's world was collapsing. Two agents grabbed his arms. Metal clanked. The handcuffs snapped shut. A collective gasp rippled through the room. Jason let out a slow breath. It was really happening. Mayor Richard Dunham, the most powerful man in the city, was being dragged away in handcuffs. And there was nothing he could do about it. A final threat. As the mayor was pulled past Jason, he snarled. "You think this is over?" he hissed. Jason didn't flinch. "It is for you." The mayor's rage turned to panic. He struggled against the agents. "You don't get it, kid. You don't know who you're messing with." Miller yanked him forward. "Save it for court." The mayor shouted and cursed the whole way out. But it didn't matter, because for the first time in years, he wasn't in control anymore. The moment that went viral. Within minutes, Jason's footage was everywhere. National news picked up the story. Social media exploded with clips from the council meeting. People cheered as they watched the mayor get taken away. "Justice served" trended on Twitter. The headline, "Fast food worker exposes corrupt mayor. Live on air." Jason's phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Reporters wanted interviews. People sent messages thanking him for speaking up. His video racked up millions of views within hours. Jason could barely believe it. For so long, nobody listened, but now, the entire country was watching. Justice served. Weeks later, Jason sat in the front row of the courtroom. The mayor sat at the defendant's table, his once powerful presence completely shattered. When the judge read the verdict, "Guilty on all charges," the mayor sank in his chair. Jason closed his eyes, exhaling. It was finally over. A life-changing phone call. The next morning, Jason got a call he never expected. "Hello, Mr. Carter," a deep voice said. "This is the Washington Post. We'd like to offer you a position as an investigative journalist." Jason's heart skipped a beat. "A journalist? You have a talent for exposing the truth. We'd like you to do it for a living." Jason stared at the wall. For the first time, he realized his life had changed forever. He wasn't just a fast food worker anymore. He was the guy who took down a corrupt mayor. And now, he was just getting started.